All right, Cakes, just a little roster maintenance again. Remember, on Tuesday, the Commanders signed guard center J.C. Hassenauer. And then yesterday, they signed another offensive line guy, a tackle, Alex Taylor, who played collegiately at Appalachian State, South Carolina. He's actually appeared in 4 NFL games so far, bounced around different practice squads with the Browns. He spent 2022, part of that at least, with the Cowboys. He's the second former Cowboys offensive lineman, along with Tyler. How are we saying his last name? Biotish. I'm struggling with that one for some reason. Biotish. It looks like Biotish.
Yep.
When you look at it. Big day today, right? Joint practice with the Jets. First real look, I think, for Jaden Daniels. If you remember to last year when they had those joint practices, who were they with? With the Ravens? Can't remember who they were with. I think they might have been with the Ravens.
Can't quite remember.
Yes, it was the Ravens.
Yeah. That's where Hal really stood out for Ron and the staff, was how he handled all of that and made some big-time throws. So this would be good for Jaden, especially considering how good, in theory, the Jets' defense was last year, and presumably they'll still be very, very good. So it'll be great test for him.
But you can't get hit.
Yeah.
You're not going to get tackled as a quarterback, so it's a bit different than an actual preseason game. And it sounded like when we played the clips yesterday of Dan Quinn, Jaden's going to get more reps in the inner squad, or whatever you call these, versus the actual preseason game.
Oh, for sure. I mean, you would figure he'd probably practice most of the inner squad.
It sounds like it's a series, then he's out.
In the game.
In the game.
Right.
Yeah.
But the joint practice is a lot more action.
Get a lot. And again,
he's putting a lot of stock in the joint practices. And
I wish we had, if anybody knows of a link, I haven't heard of any yet.
Yeah, what sort of video can we get out of this joint practice?
We get some video of it.
I know
YouTube
JP
link.
Finley is there covering it. I don't know how much he'll be able to.
Last year, I think the Raven, I don't know if it was the Ravens or the Command. I think it was the Ravens. They had a live feed. They basically had a live feed.
We could kind
so
of
maybe you
sneak
can get
a
that
peek
on commanders.com on the website. Maybe
I haven't heard that, but I would love to know if that's possible.
Let me go to the website.
It's also
going to
be a big day for Brandon Coleman. See how he holds up there at left tackle.
Well, he was walking around practice like with a wrap on his shoulder recently, so I don't know how much action he's going to get.
Maybe that's why they keep bringing in these offensive linemen.
I'd be a little bit concerned that every other day they're bringing in new offensive linemen.
Well, they're dinged up. You need a camp body.
Yeah, I guess that's.
My guess is they're camp bodies.
That's probably correct.
So a mutual friend of ours, I won't say who, it doesn't matter, met with the triumvirate yesterday. I believe it was with Dan Quinn. I know for sure Kingsbury was there, Joe Witt, and just kind of get to know session a little bit. Super impressed with all those guys, especially Joe Witt.
Mm-hmm.
He told me Joe Witt's intensity is just next level.
Here, Mar has an update for you, Eric.
Yeah.
You're going to be very pleased.
Yeah, I went on the New York Jets official YouTube page, and at 10:15, there's a scheduled live stream. New York Jets, Washington Commanders joint practice live look-in.
Ooh,
perfect.
Very nice.
So you get to watch them stretch.
Good timing,
You get to watch them do drills.
Well, yeah, I want to see it. I want to eavesdrop.
You can watch it while you're driving home.
That's not unlike anything else I ever do.
Not unprecedented.
Yeah.
That sounds safe with Debbie. Open up your Slim Jim.
Yeah. Pre-peel that thing.
Yeah. Open your Slim Jim,
that's
drive
exciting.
home and watch it.
Oh, yeah, Jaden Daniels.
That's exciting. So I just go to the Jets YouTube page?
Yeah, just New York Jets, and then the first page that pops up, the official one.
All right. Okay. I'm all RPOs. So a couple just stealing some nuggets here from some of the locals that are kind of commenting on things. A couple guys are impressing Cakes. Olamide Zacchaeus,
yeah,
who we noticed was kind of like the third receiver listed on the unofficial depth chart.
Yep.
He apparently has been impressing in camp, Cakes, which I think is great.
Tommy Brown better look out.
They say
coming for you.
In fact, I think I'm stealing this. This is straight from the Commanders' website, that he was Daniel's first target during an 11-on-11 session. Got a huge gain near the middle of the field. Later in practice, he sprinted for the end zone after a play was over to show some extra effort. They're liking him. Brian Robinson also, they say, is showing off his hands. He made a nice one-handed catch from Daniels before turning upfield, so he could, people have always said he's a better pass catcher maybe than people realize. And JP, here's the thing that you hate the most: the receiver that kind of comes out of nowhere.
I know,
that's making waves.
The guy, we always do this
Who's
every year.
This year's guy, Bryson Tremaine. Okay, Tremaine's a 6'4", 212-pound receiver. Biggest and tallest receiver currently on the roster.
You don't know his bit at training camp.
No.
I'll pay you $2 if you can tell me his bit at training camp.
Okay, all right. He's the first guy on the field.
Damn it!
Thank you.
Are you sandbagging? Are you sandbagging me?
No,
You were slow playing me.
It's gotten a lot of hype.
You knew.
It's online.
I mean, the people have been reporting it.
He hits the skins every day.
Yeah, I mean,
Does
come on.
hit
Give me the $2.
Didn't
All right.
Jaden try and beat him one day?
He might have, yeah. I think he might have beaten him one day. And again, this doesn't really hurt me because this is not my money. I'm free rolling. So
Terrence's money, right?
Terrence's money. There's your $2.
Thank you, Terrence.
Damn it.
I've spent all my twos. Oh,
You actually
You
spent
spent them?
it's money. I never.
It's gambling money.
I never carry cash.
It's
For me,
So
it's
He gave
you
it
money.
to us
yeah.
for in-show gambling
yeah, it's
money.
not to like tip some dude for cleaning your
you
clubs.
never carry cash yet. When
No,
you do,
I probably
you
bought like a
whip out the-
Gatorade at a pool.
you
or
whip out the
something.
weirdest bill possible. A $2 bill.
Out of the fattest wallet ever.
Yeah.
By the way, Zacchaeus Cakes, we should root for him.
Yeah.
Listed height,
5'8".
5'8".
What? By the way, speaking of Olamide
Short knocker.
Zacchaeus, he's just a journeyman.
Sure.
In his career, he has 104 receptions and 10 touchdowns. Will De'Ami Brown ever match those numbers in his career?
What was the number?
He has 104 receptions in his career, and he has 10 touchdowns. Will De'Ami Brown reach those numbers in his NFL career?
No.
Because he's probably got
I
about
don't think he
35
will.
or 40.
Not if he's getting
touchdowns,
beaten out
right?
by
De'Ami Brown?
Zacchaeus.
in his career.
Oh, I don't think he has 35 or 40
He
catches.
doesn't?
I mean, unless I'm just completely
He doesn't
wrong.
have like 10 and 15 or something like that.
I mean,
What did he have last year?
maybe I'm going to double check him. He's had a remarkably underwhelming career in the NFL.
He had 12 catches last year.
12. What did he have the year before?
He has 29 catches in
All
3
right.
years.
So it's close to 30.
29 and 3 end zone trips.
I think it's unlikely he'll reach 100 at the current pace. He needs a breakout.
He needs a big breakout.
He needs a big breakout.
He needs to beat out Zacchaeus.
He has 12, 5, 12 receptions.
Zacchaeus had 40 catches 2 seasons ago.
Right. Like he's a decent third or fourth receiver.
I'm surprised he's listed ahead of both McCaffrey and Jamison Crowder.
Right.
Well, again, yeah. Was it Russell?
But again, like it's the first depth
Yes.
chart
I know.
of
It
the
doesn't mean
offseason.
anything.
Like you don't read too much into it.
But still, I think it is a little bit interesting. Was it Russell that said that McCaffrey just not flashing? Like it's not that he's
Yes.
bad, but he's just not doing anything that's making waves.
He's cool-volleying.
Yeah.
I did see one fantasy nerd on Twitter
Yeah.
that said Luke McCaffrey has the makings, and this stirred my pants a little bit. Could be a poor man's Puka Nacua.
Well, that would be incredible if he was a Puka Nacua. Are you
Now,
kidding?
again,
Very
that's,
conditional statement there.
Does he have that
that's-
kind of motor?
it's one fantasy nerd on Twitter,
Right.
and there are a billion of them.
That would be amazing.
But that one caught my interest.
Now,
Because you get a comp to Puka Nacua, what he did last year, that's pretty amazing.
just to put things in context, I'll give you a few nuggets from around the NFC East in their training camps. The Dallas Cowboys, I noticed this morning, I believe Ezekiel Elliott Cakes listed as their number 1 tailback.
Yep.
What does that tell you?
I just think it's a jumbled mess there in Dallas. We saw Zeke's numbers tail off last year in New England. He's 29 years old. He's had so many carries in his career. They've got guys like Rico Dowdle, who's younger and shows more burst. But I just don't think they have any sort of real pecking
That's a
order
real
there.
weakness for them, I think.
I think Dowdle is going to wind up taking
The bulk of the carries.
most of the rushing, and Zeke might score some touchdowns because he's so good at the goal line.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's just going to be a mess at that spot all season for the Cowboys.
So, and then moving over to the Giants, a lot of us watched and talked about the off-season Hard Knocks with the Giants. I found it to be awesome television. And a big storyline there was the drafting of Malik Neighbors. Well, he's not disappointing. He got into a fight, I think. Was it yesterday? Some sort of inter-squad
Yeah, he
thing?
got in a skirmish with one of the Lions cornerbacks. I think his last name is Curley, where
Yeah.
after a play, Neighbors was going back to the huddle, and on his way back, he kind of glanced the Lions defender's helmet with his hand. It wasn't a punch, but it was, he's almost pushing him away with his hand, and then that just lit a huge fight in training camp. Guys throwing punches, swinging wildly while everybody's wearing helmets, which doesn't make any sense. It's the easiest way to break your hand ever.
He is balling so far.
He's crushing.
In live drills, I don't know if you saw this, against the Lions, they targeted him. We may have mentioned it. They targeted him 18 times. He caught 17 of them.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's a mega stud.
He's going to be a superstar.
Yeah.
He's going to be
He's going to get the ball early and often in that offense.
Right. They're going
He's already by far their top wideout. I mean, there's a reason he went number 6 in the draft.
Right. And then just getting a little nugget from the Eagles. Big year for I think Jalen Hurts. Big year for Sirianni, the head guy there. So far, they say Jalen Hurts has not thrown an interception through 9 training camp practices, Cakes. That's pretty freaking impressive, especially, they say, when you've got a new system and you got a new offensive coordinator there in Kellen Moore.
Kellen Moore coming in, yeah.
Kellen Moore's jocking him. He says he's been phenomenal. He's done an awesome job continuing to evolve and build this thing as we go. I think the communication's been critical. It's been awesome.
Now, I haven't read this because it's pretty new on ESPN.com, but there's a big story. It's the lead story on their NFL section. Eagles look to bridge Nick Sirianni, Jalen Hurts divide.
Right.
So it sounds like there's big strain, or at least there was, between
seemed like
head
there was
coach and
something maybe going on last year.
We'll see how that plays out this season.
Right. Got to think. I stole some of those nuggets from Hogs Haven, so they do a great job.
Very good.
Compiling nuggets.